In this session, we are proposing an approach which airline can leverage to deploy the NDC platform. Let's be clear, we are not offering the definitive reference architecture for NDC. Rather, we are providing a broad architecture which airlines and IT providers can then apply to their own context. This session should also give you a few ideas to get your NDC initiative to a fast start. The approach we are proposing is architecture-centric. The central concept here is indeed a reference architecture for NDC airline. So, what's a reference architecture? We will examine this in more detail later during this session, but for now, let's just say that a reference architecture is a set of modular and integrated building blocks. Together, these building blocks are supporting all the business functions required to deploy NDC end-to-end. The approach we are proposing is also a phased approach. When starting the inception phase, you are embarking on your own NDC journey. First of all, you have to define the scope of this exercise. Define and validate your business objectives and your strategy. This is absolutely key. NDC is just an enabler. So you decide your strategy first, and from this you derive how NDC can help you in supporting and shaping this strategy. Once you understand your NDC vision, which business objective you want to support with NDC long term, you then need to articulate how you will get there. You need to define your roadmap to NDC. Adopting a reference architecture, adapting this reference architecture to your own context is likely to help here. You can then develop your heat map. A heat map highlights the missing blocks in your reference architecture or the building blocks which should be renovated. This heat map also highlights the duplication in your architecture. In general, this is a good exercise to do jointly between business and IT. It gets both sides to a shared understanding of what it will take to get to this end game. So, why are we proposing a reference architecture for NDC? First, this is not a brand new concept. There are many reference architectures out there, covering many industries. For example, retail and financial services. This proposal is also the outcome of the 40+ alignment session we did with airline in the past 18 months. And this NDC reference architecture also does capture architecture discussion we have had with several IT vendors. By setting a framework, by adopting a clear set of architecture principles, this reference architecture provides a baseline for your NDC implementation and will indeed help validate your own implementation decisions. In particular, this reference architecture will be useful when defining your NDC vision and the associated roadmap. It will help relate and align business functionality with the building blocks of your NDC architecture. As we said before, this proposal is built on many conversations with airline and IT providers, and therefore it does capture a number of best practices. Finally, this framework can also be used to find the right trade-off between conflicting architecture principles. For example, you want both a modular architecture and a scalable high-performance architecture. At times, there may be some tensions between these two principles. Having a clear representation of your architecture will help find the best possible trade-off for you. Basically, there are two broad options when deciding how to deploy your own NDC platform. You can simply decide to extend your current PSS and deploy the NDC functionality inside this box. However, in general, this box does not exactly make it easy to customize or extend its functionality. So, the second broad option you have is to do NDC outside the current box. This approach clearly makes sense. Indeed, you will see soon that we advocate a modular reference architecture. This will make it easier to adopt new functionality as it becomes available. This does make your architecture more flexible and more agile. The definition of this reference architecture has been guided by a few key architecture and design principles. Let's have a quick look at these principles. One of the first priorities will be to leverage your existing assets, protect the technology investment you have already made. In general, airlines will want to preserve systems and processes that don't need change because they are stable, heavily regulated, and will not drive significant business value. Airlines should adopt a modular architecture. A modular system lets you leverage your existing assets and at the same time allows you to add best-of-breed functionality as it becomes available. In effect, this modularity will allow airlines to respond rapidly to change in their business environment. This is a must for retail organizations. Clearly, these modular building blocks must support standard interfaces. This will clearly drive development and integration costs down. It will simplify the way IT assets are constructed and operated, and the way they are interconnected. In conclusion, one of the key architectural objectives here is to transform the airline landscape into a more modular environment. A modular environment where valuable assets are preserved, out-of-date assets are renovated, and new assets can be added easily. Clearly, this can only happen in the context of a framework integrating these assets in a coherent manner. Both application and integration logics needs to be separated. The airline must decide on its integration strategy and the integration scenario it will want to support. For example, it will need to decide which backend services it will want to expose through this integration platform. Here, we finally propose a possible reference architecture for an NDC airline. There are several layers to this reference architecture. At the bottom, we have captured existing assets. For example, this is where the PSS is located. Just above, we have an integration layer. This layer has two main activities: expose this existing functionality and support the communication between the different blocks in a scalable and cost-effective manner. Then we have this new airline retailing layer with its two blocks, offer and order management. This layer also supports a set of associated modules covering pricing, revenue management, rich media management, and airline profile management. You can see that we have separated these NDC building blocks from the presentation layer. For example, this presentation layer supports both the direct channel via the airline.com block and the indirect channel via the NDC XML API block. Some airlines are now thinking of leveraging the concept of offer management and order management across the various channels. For them, the split between NDC logic and presentation layer makes perfect sense, in theory and in practice. Here on the left side, we also have a vertical block for security and identity management. In broad terms, we want to secure NDC transactions end-to-end, identify NDC actors, travel agents, aggregators, and airlines, and we also need to propagate the current status of these actors back to the airline so that they can make appropriate authorization decisions. Finally, we also capture a vertical block on the right side, looking at the needs and wants of NDC developers. We are currently addressing this space. In the coming month, in Q4 2015 to be more precise, we will deploy NDC sandboxes, and we will also launch a developer portal. So this is it. Here is a reference architecture for NDC at a fairly high level. Offer and order management are at the core of this proposal. Last sanity check I wanted to do is that this reference architecture does indeed support our 4 original guiding principles, which were: number 1, leverage your existing assets; number 2, adopt a modular framework; number 3, support standardized interfaces; and number 4, deploy an integration platform to connect all these building blocks in a coherent and cost-effective manner.